FWC.com, brought to you by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Looking to secure your future? Diversifying your portfolio is never a bad idea, and the experts at Coin and Jewelry Gallery are here to help. For over 40 years, we've made it easy for people to protect their savings with precious metals. And as always, we have the largest selection and the best prices in Florida. At Coin and Jewelry Gallery, we make buying and selling bullion, coin collections, and paper money simple, fair, and stress-free. Stop into Coin and Jewelry Gallery, Millhopper Shopping Center, Gainesville.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My best advice to you when hiring a lawyer for your injury case is simple. If you know court personnel, ask them who they'd hire. They know. If you know an insurance adjuster, ask them. They know. And then ask them about us. Ask them about Morgan & Morgan. They know. I look forward to talking to you soon. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm for the people.
Injured? Dial Pound Law.
Offices Gainesville.
From the Spurrier's Gridiron Grill Studio, WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF FM HD2, and on the WRUF radio. This program is paid for by Weeby Marketing. Hoop, there it is.
Plan tees up a three. Good from the left angle. High lob to Connon above the foul line. Alley-oop dunk on a give the house. Over to Flan, wing left for three. Good. Boogie needed that.
Your weekly look at Gator basketball and the biggest stories from around the college hardwood.
Pull up for three. Good from the top. Lob shark, top of the arc. Down the lane. Lob for the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Foot race to the other end. Lead to the rack. Two-hand dunk for Xavier Lee.
Hoop There It Is presented by Titan MRI and Imaging, your independent premier MRI facility in Gainesville and Lake City. By Silverback Concrete, you stand on it, we stand by it. And by Meldon Law, the only official injury and accident law firm of the Florida Gators.
This place is going nuts!
And brought to you in part by Quality Plumbing, International Diamond Center, Castaway Hot Sauce, Coke Zero, Crystal Air and Water, the UF Bookstore, Ruse Ogra State Farm, Chick-fil-A Archer Road, Campus USA Credit Union, and by Miapa Latin Cafe.
Alongside ESPN college basketball analyst Mark Wise, here's Steve Russell.
We are edging ever closer to postseason basketball, but still a lot of big games left in the regular season. Welcome to another edition of Hoop. There it is, alongside ESPN's Mark Wise. I'm Steve Russell. Caroline producing today as we talk to you about hoops in the SEC, around the country, and it's getting closer.
It's getting closer. The weather is cooperating. It's still basketball weather here in Florida, so I'm loving that. And, the games start meaning a little bit more, and the fine line between are you in or are you out for a couple of teams. Like, for instance, Texas has completely played themselves up off the bubble, if you want to think of it in those terms. I think Missouri will be right there one way or the other all the way to the end. So, yeah, a lot of meaningful games, both in the league and nationally speaking. And speaking of nationally, the doubleheader Saturday that they kind of featured with the Michigan-Duke game, the Arizona-Houston games, they were
fabulous.
Yes. Yeah, fabulous hoops.
All right. As always, Facebook questions are brought to you by the UF Bookstore. YouTube questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogra State Farm Insurance, and our phone line sponsor, Campus USA Credit Union. That's where you can call and talk to us at 392-8255. You can also email the show, srussell@wruf.com, where we have one. Are you surprised C.J. Ingram's not been more of a factor this season? What's the issue, do you think?
I would assume that the issue would be he can't get into the top 8, and it's really hard if Florida's style of play, Todd Golden's style of play, it's really hard for the ninth man to get a lot of meaningful minutes. Isaiah Brown, again, I've always said this: you earn minutes in a game by what you do in practice. You earn more minutes in games by what you do in the minutes that you get
in the games. Yeah.
In the games. So it's just a numbers thing would be my simple explanation, and he hasn't done the things in practice to warrant those kind of meaningful minutes where Brown has kind of taken that eighth man role and kind of run with it.
Let's do our Gator game recap brought to you by Holiday Inn University Center. If you're looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville, Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center, steps away from the swamp, the closest hotel to UF. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. You can visit online today for booking and more details.
Couple of resume protectors for Florida last week. The South Carolina game that I did on Tuesday, and then the Ole Miss game on Saturday on the road. That's, I don't know, what is it, 6 road wins now in the league, I think, for Florida. That's a fabulous number. The league is, road teams are having a lot of success in the league. We've talked about that. So it's always good to kind of get that. That's a resume protector in terms of the struggles that Ole Miss is having. And I must tell you, I'm watching the game. I was going to lunch. I was in Lake Charles, Louisiana, doing a game Saturday night. And so I'm watching at a restaurant. So I'm not hearing the sound, but I'm watching meaningful minutes of the Florida game. And it looked to me like somebody had pushed the fast forward button. That's how fast I thought Florida played the entire game. I mean, they just basically, even after you score, if you want to watch something next time that Florida plays, and on Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday, right? The Texas game.
Yep, it is.
Watch how quick, even after Texas scores, somebody hops out of bounds, the ball's inbounds, and it's in front court in 3 seconds. I mean, they are immediately kind of putting you on your heels defensively. And, you know, when you make 32 field goals and you have 26 assists, I mean, sharing is caring, right? And so those are just stupid good numbers. And to win comfortably on the road is also, you know, it's hard to do. I just don't think people understand how hard that is. And all you have to do is look around at different games, and it makes you kind of wonder, okay, how is this team hanging around? So Florida took care of business. They made 11 threes. We've talked about this. No NCAA champion, and I hate to even set that bar, but no NCAA champion since the shot clock era has shot below 30% from the arc and won the title. Florida, for the first time all year, has crept. I mean, it's not much, but they are over that threshold right now.
Shooting better.
Boogie Flan looked to me like he shot quicker. Jump shots, I mean, everything about him looked a lot quicker instead of aiming the ball, which is sometimes what happens, you know, in a lot of different sports. Pitchers start aiming the ball instead of just letting it go. So I thought it looked better. Now, it's obviously, you know, when it goes in, it obviously looks better. But, again, Condon is so unique in what he brings to the table, and then Lee has 10 assists. So they are figuring out – let me rephrase that. They have figured out how to beat you in different ways. And when you can beat a team in a number of ways, different ways, then that bodes well for March.
Play of the Week brought to you by Quality Plumbing. When you need a quality plumber, rely on the same company Gainesville's trusted since 1984. Their name says it all, Quality Plumbing.
All right, Steve, you're going to have to keep up with me because Austin Peay is playing at North Florida midweek.
Okay.
Austin Peay is winning the league. North Florida has really struggled. But it's 75 all, and North Florida has the ball at the end of the game. They take a shot, they miss it, it goes to the corner. Guy for Austin Peay runs it down and takes timeout with 1.8 seconds to go in the game, tie game. They did not have a timeout.
Ooh.
It's a technical foul. North Florida goes to the free throw line and makes 1 of 2, so they're up 1. But in this rule, if you get a technical foul, the technical pays for your timeout. So Austin Peay gets the ball. It's not like a flagrant where you 2 shots in the ball.
Right.
So Austin Peay lobs it to the other end. There's a ricochet. Guy drops it in at the buzzer. So they took won. So they took a technical foul. They took a timeout that he did not have with less than 2 seconds to go in a tie game.
Wow.
And won the game.
Wow.
I mean, that's
crazy.
That's the kind that you lose and you see the head coach on the highway later, just walking. I mean, that is about as cruel a way to lose as anything I've ever seen.
That is. I mean, you're almost rewarded
for
doing something you shouldn't do, right?
Oh, it was so – and not only that, but 1.9, they had to take the ball out, not in the dead corner, but sort of in the sideline 3 or 4 steps up. It's the most awkward place to throw a pass the length of the court. But several guys go up for it. Ball kind of pinballs around, falls to a guy, he lays it in.
That's wow. That's amazing.
That gives me nightmares. That brings back my coaching nightmares when stuff like that happens.
Speaking of that, Coach of the Week brought to you by International Diamond Center. Don't settle for a knockoff diamond when you can get the best diamonds at the best prices. For quality, selection, and value, International Diamond Center, the official jeweler of the Florida Gators.
You know, if you'll remember, Florida beat Merrimack in the non-conference like 85-48. Okay? So you really don't think much about that at the time. Merrimack now is 19-9. They are 15-2 in the MAC, not the one with 1A, but the one with 2 A's, the Metro Athletic Association Conference. And they're going to win the league at 15-2. Joe Gallo is the head coach. They play that funky zone that's really unique. He kind of has branded it his own. So my coach of the week is for a guy that, you know, takes his lumps in the non-conference, has to play bye games. He's getting it done in league, and they're doing it for the second straight year. So Joe Gallo from Merrimack.
Before I forget, because sometimes you do, what's happened to Auburn?
First of all, I don't know that they had role definition early on. We've talked about that a lot with Florida, but Pettiford, Keyshawn Hall, Keyshawn Murphy. I'm not sure they've gotten on the same page. I don't think they're very good defensively. So those are big picture items. And then when Stephen Pearl had to suspend Keyshawn Hall for a game, he's not started Pettiford in games. I mean, they just haven't had continuity. I think some of it's on the court, some of it's off the court. And then they catch a big break. Now they've lost some tough games, but they caught a big break in the UK game the other day with the offensive foul call. I don't think there's any question that Chandler pushed off. I don't think there's any question. You very rarely see that called at that particular time, and I don't think there's any question that the official that called it, I don't think, could see the play. So all those things added up to frustration for Big Blue Nation, obviously. But if you've lost as many games as Auburn has, you have some flaws. And I think they have some real flaws. I don't think they're really good defensively.
Okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Much more Hoop. There it is. Call us. Talk some basketball. It's what we're here for as you listen to Hoop. There it is on WRUF.
WRUF Sports Center.
I'm Lucas Perez. Gators men's basketball chomped hard on Ole Miss, defeating the Rebels 94-75 on the road. Coach Todd Gold is in high spirits with his team.
On the road, we're pretty insulated. We keep it simple. We get here, we shoot, we go eat, we go to sleep, we wake up, and we get ready to play. And these guys have been ready, since the Missouri game in terms of competing on the road.
The number 12 Gators are on the road to Austin to face the Texas Longhorns on Wednesday. On another note, the Gators men's tennis opened SEC play with this 1-6 loss to number 30 Auburn on the road on Saturday. The Gators are behind from the start after losing doubles points in Tanapat Nirundorn and Pablo Perez Ramos on court 2. Following that, Florida was in a stalemate, unable to shift the momentum in their favors for singles. The Gators look to redeem themselves in SEC play today to face SEC rivals Georgia Bulldogs in Athens at 1.
The commitment from IDC to first responders is really extraordinary.
Veteran firefighter Johnny Hinton talks about International Diamond Center's ongoing support for our heroes in uniform.
IDC has helped us raise just massive amounts of money.
Johnny says in addition to corporate gifts to support charity fundraisers, IDC is there every day, helping first responders with an extra 15% discount on any purchase.
Again, thank you guys so much.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to, thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than a sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at TitanMRI.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets, Castaway Sauce Company is founded by a lifelong Gator and proud UF alum. From mild to wild, they've got a flavor for every Gator tailgate. Grab your Castaway hot sauce today and taste the tradition. Learn more at CastawaySauceCompany.com.
It's tip-off time, Alachua County. The gym is alive, the crowd is loud, and basketball season is heating up. From fast breaks to buzzer beaters, basketball brings the passion, teamwork, and pride that unite our community. Whether you're on the court or cheering from the stands, Coke Florida, your local Coca-Cola bottler, is proud to support the moments that bring Alachua County together. Brought to you by Coke Florida, refreshing Florida fans. Here's to a winning season on and off the court. Let's go!
Craving real Cuban flavor? Come to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, where every bite brings you home. From our juicy roast chicken with yellow rice and black beans, our breakfast options to sweet plantains, empanadas, and our iconic Cuban cafecito, we've got what your taste buds are waiting for. And with 6 locations, there's sure to be one near you serving up warm hospitality and authentic breakfast, lunch, or dinner vibes whenever hunger strikes. So head over to Mi Apa Latin Cafe, the best Cuban food north of Miami. Visit miapalatincafe.com or stop by your nearest location today.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com. March Madness is coming to WRUF.
Silverback Concrete is a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists built from concrete and steel, precision and grit. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back.
Welcome back to Hoop. There it is. Again, if you have Facebook questions, they're brought to you by the UF Bookstore. YouTube questions, courtesy of Ruse Ogre State Farm Insurance and our phone line sponsor, where you call us up and talk to us. Campus USA Credit Union, that's where Greg is. Greg, hello.
Hey, thanks for doing the show, Mark and Steve. You guys are appreciated. My comment/questions about the play of Isaiah Brown, I said it on your YouTube page, which is really cool. If nobody's gotten on there, they need to check that YouTube page out. Very cool. But in the Ole Miss game, Mark, specifically directed at you, Isaiah looked like he was trying too hard. He has the athleticism, had a great alley-oop dunk, but I give that credit to the passer on an alley-oop dunk. I mean, that's a lot harder to make that pass than it is to make the dunk if you got skills. But he just seems like maybe he's trying too hard. Just maybe you didn't see it, Mark, and Steve, but I did. It just he's stupid fouls, reaching in when you shouldn't be reaching in. Is that just maybe him trying too hard? He wants to please coach, or what are your thoughts on Isaiah Brown's play and just this Ole Miss game? And I'll listen off here and go Gators.
All right.
Well, I think in the plus-minus, he was +5. So he wasn't too bad. Yes, he has a high foul rate. I think he had 3 fouls in 13 minutes in the game. And that's that's not a good rate.
He has loud fouls, too.
He has loud fouls. That's a better way to put it. But he's 2 for 3, makes a free throw, 1 out of 2. I don't think the plus-minus is an end-all, be-all, but it is a indicator of what the team does when you're on the floor. So from that standpoint, I want him trying hard, and if that means he does some fouls, Isaiah Brown's not going to be on the floor, in my opinion, with 5 minutes to go in a tied game in the NCAA tournament. So it's I think twofold. One is he's getting valuable minutes for the future. And second, he's helping the team right now. So, both things I think can be true. And yeah, the dips in play or the bad fouls, the loud fouls. I mean, again, he's basically a freshman.
Yeah. And, sometimes I think too, and I don't know if this is the case, Mark, but if you're playing X minutes, right? You really want to help your team. Maybe you're a little more aggressive. Maybe you're trying a little too hard. Whatever that is.
Right.
And look, most coaches, I think, would accept effort.
Right.
Now you have to be smart. Right. In the effort.
Fouls and effort.
Yes.
Yeah. Versus being in the wrong spot.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing is he's knocked down on some threes.
Yes, lately he has.
And that's really helped as well, especially this team this year.
Todd says, regarding the discussion on the NCAA champ shooting no worse than 30%, is Florida shooting better? Or are we taking less threes, less misses, which is a better way to analyze the better percentage?
No question. More makes. When you have more makes, you have better percentage. So, again, I don't see a lot of difference in the threes that they're taking now than they did before. The other biggest difference is that Klavchar, I think, is 48% in league play. I mean, that's a crazy high number. I think he's second in the league in three-point percentage. Now you have to make so many to qualify, but he has qualified. So he goes 4 for 5 the other day from deep. Remember we had this discussion maybe 6 weeks ago about is it time for Klavchar to start? And I've been very consistent. I know, because you want a guy that you can look down that bench and go help us offensively. So I think he's in the perfect role. I think he'll get some, I have a game Wednesday night. I have Ole Miss Wednesday night. A.J. Stewart comes off the bench and leads them in scoring. So he might be 6th man of the year. But from Billy Richmond is now starting for Arkansas. He basically comes off the bench and gives them such an energy lift. And then I think you got to talk about Klavchar. So you're thinking about guys that might win the 6th Man of the Year award. I think he's in that conversation.
Daryl, I know we're on top in the SEC, but in a broader perspective, do you think Florida's one of the best teams in the country on a given day? It can beat anybody.
I do, now that they've started making threes. You cannot win at the highest level in a 3-point differential that Florida was in earlier in the season. That's my view. I've said this also for the last couple of weeks. Florida is almost peaked, in my opinion, of what they can achieve in terms of seeding. They may get in the 2 line depending on what teams in front of them do, but they have no shot at they can win out. They can win the SEC tournament, but because of the non-conference lack of wins, they don't. On the resume, the net team sheet, they don't have what the other teams have. Michigan, Duke, Arizona. Those 3 are locks, in my opinion, for a 1 seed. So you're fighting for the 4th position, whether that be Houston, Iowa State, UConn. UConn has the head-to-head with Florida. So the 2 line, I think, is the ceiling for Florida this year.
And I think you make a great point here, Mark. And I think people forget, casual fans forget, well, Florida's playing so good now.
Right.
Well, those other games count.
Yeah, there are 2 ways, and here's what I want to say about this, and I'll try to be really brief with this. But evaluating your resume, you have what they call results metrics. In other words, your resume, and predictive metrics. Predictive metrics are how you're playing. or a better indicator of how you're playing. Florida is 5 in the country in the 3 predictive metrics in terms of Ken Palm, BPI, the T rank. They're 5th everywhere. But on the results based, they're 9th in 1. The strength of record, they're 11th. The WOB, and we're going to talk more about the WOB next week, next Monday. The wins above the bubble. I'll explain what that means. They're 11th in the country, which is, you add those two together, guess where? You're on the 2 line.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
So, I just want to say quickly that everybody's resume has kind of 2 wings to it. The resume part, the results part, and the predictive part, or the production part.
Chris, hand lockdown is offensively challenged, gets junk points off tip-ins, etc. Do you see this?
Yeah, whoa. Those are not junk points. Those are valuable points. Part of the mix of why Florida is so good on the offensive glass. Sorry.
I said, do you see this continuing? Hope that this can change so he can become more dependable offensively, maybe getting 8 or 10 a game?
No. He's not a throw-to option right now in the low block. His role is to help on the glass, be a defensive presence. I think he had didn't he have 3 steals in the game the other day? He seems to be the right place for steals. He does get in the wrong place defensively at times, but I like the role that he's in.
William making a statement here. With 3 backcourt players drafted last year, possibly 3 front court in the first and second round this year, Florida must be a destination place for players in the portal, looking at plus at high school players too.
That sounds good in theory. Money talks, and in this day and age, you can't talk about recruiting the way we talked about recruiting 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because of the money aspect. So I think that's the. Let's say somebody loses their job as a head coach and you hire a new guy, or you're trying to go after somebody. Guess what the agent of that new guy, what's the first question they're going to ask? How much money do you have as compared to your league?
Yeah.
And that's where it starts.
Let's get Keith here. Hi, Keith.
Hey, guys. A couple questions or comments. Jimmy Dykes talks about Houck having the best motor on the team. I'm a huge Houck fan, but I don't think anybody's motor's any bigger than Condon. I mean, what he does, rebounding, blocking shots, bringing the ball up the court, diving on the floor, nothing against Houck, but Condon's motor to me is second to none. Here's my next question, though, Mark. When Condon keeps the ball up high and doesn't dribble backing into the lane and keeping the ball low where everybody gets a hand on it, it's just, can you just talk about that a little bit? Like this last game, to me, there was a noticeable effort. He kept the ball up high. How many those little push lob shots, floaters, because he never brought the ball down. I'd love to hear you talk about Condon and how if he keeps the ball low, he doesn't do well. If he keeps it up high, he's a scoring machine. I'll take your comments off the air. Great show.
Thank you.
Okay, there are 2 things. One is when he's up high in the high-low action and they're running the offense that way. Earlier in the season, we've talked about this a lot. He would shoot that 3. He hasn't had success shooting that 3. People are daring him to shoot that 3, and the ball would kind of get stuck. He would catch it and go, should I shoot this? Now that he's a rotator, it's a quick ball rotation. So that's how that's gotten better when he's at the top of the key. I think what you're talking about is where, and here's my evaluation, where does Condon in the low block, where does he catch it? Does he have to get to the scoring zone off the bounce? Because that's when he gets in trouble, in my view. If he catches it closer to the rim, closer to the paint, then he's already in the scoring zone. That makes a big difference. And what he's talking about versus keeping the ball low, keeping the ball high, that's for any big guy. That's true.
Hottest team of the
and
week.
I love his motor. But I also love Houks. And I think Chinyelu has to be in that conversation as well for a 5-man.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the motor he has as a 5 guy.
Think of if you looked at the box score and Chinyelu just did little.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, ooh, trouble, and Florida won going away.
I rest my case.
Right?
You don't have to depend on 1 or 2 guys. That makes a big deal.
Hottest team of the week brought to you by Castaway Sauce Company. Hot sauce made by Gators for Gators from mild to wild. They got a flavor for every Gator tailgate, available at your local Publix or CastawaySauceCompany.com.
I don't know how you recruit to the military schools. I just think that's I can only I've had some of these schools in the non-conference through the years. It's a real challenge. However, Navy has now won 10 in a row. They're 14-1, going to win the Patriot League. I think that's a great story. So, hottest team are there teams that have won more games in a row? Yes, Miami's still undefeated. Stephen F. Austin has won 17 in a row in the Southland. But to me, for an academy school, a military school to have that kind of record and that kind of run, yeah, hottest team.
Games to watch brought to you by Coke Zero. The new and improved recipe tastes like real Coke with 0 sugar and 0 calories.
Well, I think one of them is Houston tonight at Kansas. I think you can hear that here on the station, correct?
Yep, yes, right after Louisville, North Carolina.
Tuesday, Auburn at Oklahoma. Can Auburn parlay the good fortune they had against Kentucky into a road win? Wednesday, Georgia's at Vandy. I find that as an interesting matchup. A&M is at Arkansas. I think, speaking of A&M, I want to say this. I think the Coach of the Year race, I think, is down to 2 people. I think it's Todd Golden and Bucky McMillan. I think no one else need apply. Thursday, Michigan State's at Purdue. Michigan State can't score, but, man, do they play hard. Saturday, UVA's at Duke, I think is a great matchup. Vandy's at Kentucky. That'll be a really interesting game, I think, for Kentucky in terms of trying to handle Tyler Tanner. Kansas is at Arizona. So Kansas has got Houston tonight at home, and then they go to Arizona on the weekend. But we've talked about that. The Big 12 is last year's SEC. Bama's at Tennessee on Saturday. Tennessee's playing better. And then Gonzaga at St. Mary's. I know you won't. You'll be way in bed, but Gonzaga at St. Mary's is always kind of a wonderful game on the West Coast Conference.
Highlights next day. Well, we'll take a break. We'll come back.
We'll see the replay on demand.
Right.
Click that on demand button, please.
More Hoop There It Is coming up. Stay with us as you listen on WRUF.
Concrete is tough, long-lasting, durable. And when it's done right, it's the foundation of everything that stands strong. At Silverback Concrete, we don't just pour concrete, we build trust one slab at a time. We're a family-led team of heavy concrete specialists who sweat every detail, from footers to elevated decks. We respect your budget, we build to last, and we care about the people on the job today and those who will walk these floors tomorrow. You stand on it, we stand by it. Silverback Concrete, we've got your back. Visit silverbackconcrete.co to get started.
Need a new AC and wondering who to call? I'm Kirk Smith, owner of Crystal Air and Water. Our team of professionals are strongly committed to responsiveness, problem resolution, customer satisfaction, and service excellence. We promise to meet the heating and cooling needs of your home with the most effective and energy-efficient products available. Maybe that's why we're the most liked AC company on Facebook. Follow us today. Crystal Air and Water, online at acpenguin.com.
License number CMC 1249384.
Yes, I'm calling Crystal Air and Water. Call Crystal.
Gator Nation, did you know the UF Bookstore, located right inside the University of Florida's Rights Union, is more than just textbooks? That's right. Gear up with officially licensed Gator merchandise from top brands like Nike, Peter Lamar, Lululemon, Columbia, Tommy Bahama, Apple, and more. From game day to every day, we've got the styles Gators love. Stop by the Florida Bookstore at Rights Union. The Florida Bookstore, where Gators shop.
Go Gators!
Hey, have you ever talked to Ruse Agra over at State Farm?
Oh yeah, Ruse is awesome. Helped me get a ton of coverage for way less than I expected, and he serves all of North Florida. Super friendly too, actually takes time to explain everything.
Really? I thought State Farm would be pricey.
Nope, surprisingly great rates. You get that neighborly service you don't find everywhere. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I might give Ruse at State Farm a call.
You should. Call 352-240-1779 for a free quote. You'll be glad you did.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Why did the Chick-fil-A cross Archer Road? So you don't have to. Chick-fil-A now has the pleasure to serve you from both sides of Archer Road. Both locations include drive-through and carry-out options, or dine in at the Chick-fil-A on the north side of Archer Road. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we're open at 6 a.m. with drive-through open until 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Chick-fil-A also caters. We'll bring our original chicken sandwich, delicious dipping sauces, and famous Chick-fil-A lemonade to you. Chick-fil-A. Eat more chicken.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
Looking for the perfect stay in Gainesville? Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center is just steps from the Swamp, the closest hotel to UF. With 6 stylish floors of brand new everything, we've been completely renovated and fully remodeled for your comfort. Enjoy the best guest services in town, competitive rates, and a location you just can't beat. And don't forget about our rooftop pool. Whether it's game day, graduation, or a Gator getaway, make your stay extraordinary at Holiday Inn Gainesville University Center. Visit us online today for details and booking.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
The NCAA tournament is coming to WRUF this March.
At Titan MRI and Imaging, you'll visit the only locally owned and operated MRI imaging center in town. Start feeling better today. It's your choice. TitanMRI.com.
Welcome back to Hoop. There it is. Let's do Baller of the Week, brought to you by Crystal Air and Water. Family owned and operated Crystal Air and Water services air conditioners, furnaces, boilers, and more for Gainesville, Alachua, and surrounding areas. They're not comfortable till you are. Baller of the Week.
You know, normally if you scored 46 points in a game in the SEC, you would be Baller of the Week. Josh Hubbard did that midweek. He wasn't even the highest scorer of the Tuesday-Wednesday package. The Alabama-Arkansas game, 117-115 in 2 overtimes, which was a sensational game. Darius Acuff Jr. goes for 49 points, but catch all the numbers. He was 16 for 27 from the field, so that's well over 50%. He was 6 of 10 at the arc, that's 60%, and he was 11 for 12 at the free throw line. 49 points, he played all 50 minutes.
Wow.
He also had 5 rebounds and 5 assists in the game. I also think he sold some popcorn at halftime. But in my view, and I've said this for a couple of weeks, I think he's the player of the year in the SEC. I think he'll be freshman of the year, player of the year. He's that good. I saw him in the exhibition game way back in October at Memphis. He's special, man. He is really, really good.
Top 4 teams brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A on both sides of Archer Road. Enjoy juicy chicken, waffle fries, and more. Eat more chicken at Chick-fil-A.
Okay, I'm going to go, again, a little bit of a swap at the top, but Duke beating Michigan. I have Duke 1, Michigan 2, Arizona 3. And those are the same 3 I've had for about 3 weeks.
Yes.
They've just moved around. But, man, when you talk about the 4th one, whether you're talking about Iowa State, Florida, UConn, Houston, this week I'm going to give it to Iowa State. But, yeah, I could make a case for any of those 4 teams.
All right, let's go to our International Diamond Center email here. BB how do you think Gator depth matches up against the Michigans and Dukes of the world? Do you see any potential issue with the Gator depth in the NCAA tournament? Speaking of Michigan and Duke, what are your thoughts on their game the other night?
Just a sensational game. Boozer, a lot. And I've been one of the people that have wondered if his game can translate to the next level. But when you're playing against a Michigan, you're playing against NBA size. And for him to flirt with a triple-double in that game, he erased any doubt I had of whether or not he is worthy of the number one pick in the draft. He will be the number one pick in the draft and part of that's because of the Darren Peterson. Is he going to play? Is he out? Is he hurt? Nobody seems to know those answers. DeBonza's right there from BYU. They're 1, 2, 3, but I have Boozer solidly at number one. Sensational performance. Florida's front court will match up with any of those. It's just going to be, can Florida make shots in those games? Now, the same can be true for any team. I mean, Houston lost to Florida in the national championship game, not because they couldn't defend, not because they weren't physical. They didn't score down the stretch.
Right.
Turned the ball over a couple of times. So that's how fickle the NCAA tournament can be.
Victor, why the obsession for the number one seed? How many number ones make the Final Four last year? I think a 2 will give you a regionally favorable spot. Worry about moving on every game. Keep winning.
All 4 number one seeds did make the Final Four last year. So, and the percentage of making a Final Four as a number one seed is extremely higher than any other number. So it is important, but it's not the end all to be all. So from that standpoint, there's not a big difference in my view between 1 and 2. I think there's a big difference between 2 and 3 in who you might get in the first round. I think there's a big difference between a 14 seed and a 15 seed.
Upset-wise.
Upset-wise,
yep.
Yes.
All right, let's get...
And I'll say this. You're getting, as the 14 seed, sometimes you're getting a really good mid-major team who has won their tournament and has had a good year and knows how to win. You're not getting the 20 and 13 fourth seed from pick a conference.
Right. YouTube question brought to you by Rose Over State Farm. Mortal Jim, since UF's on a winning streak, thumping teams, do UF just get that much better, or is the middle bottom of the SEC getting worse? And wants to hear your thoughts on the Final Four preview we had this weekend. Did we learn anything about the top 4?
Yeah, they're all good. That's what we learned. We learned that Arizona, shorthanded, went into Houston and won without Koa Pete, which says I think maybe that says more about them than any other team of those 4 who played this week, being a legit national title contender. And then what was the first part? Florida's what? Getting better. The bottom of the league is not as good this year. Last year we had 2 teams that did not make the NCAA tournament. Again, I hate doing that. I hate doing what I say when other people do it, comparing this year to last year. But there are more teams at the bottom of the league this year. The league's going to get 10 or 11 teams in the NCAA tournament, and I hope that team 11, 12, 13, I hope they go to the NIT. There's an automatic bid process that's involved with the NIT. You do not know, of course, you do not want to be in the NIT every year. I get that, but it can serve a purpose.
And then J.P. Moore, I was watching Texas Saturday. The announcer's very high on their big man, like he was something special. Physical, too. Do you agree? Yeah,
he is very physical. He fouls a lot. Vocatitis, this is the guy that transferred from FAU. He's going to have it's like a one-man gang against Florida's front court. So can Texas, who's really good offensively, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but they're really good offensively and really can struggle defensively, and they foul a lot. And Vocatitis tends to foul a lot. So he has to stay on the floor for Texas to pull the upset. And when I say an upset, I don't know what the line on the game will be by Saturday, but I can't imagine Florida's more than a 5 or 6 point favorite. That speaks volumes to the importance of playing at home. And Texas is playing better.
Bernard, hang on, get right to you. We'll take a break, come back. More Hoop There It Is to come as you listen on WRUF.
Sports Center.
I'm Maven Marrero. Florida basketball stay rolling as they pick up their 7th win in a row Saturday. The Gators beat the Ole Miss Rebels 94-75 in Oxford. Florida moved to 12-2 in conference play and 21-6 on the season. Forward Alex Condon led the way for the Gators with 24 points. Head coach Todd Golden spoke on Condon's performance.
You saw Kondo at his best in regards to playing fast but not in a hurry, doing a great job of putting balls in as well as finding shots for his teammates. 6 assists, only 1 turnover, 24 points. Shot the ball well, hit a 3, made all of his free throws, and just did a really good job of playing that point forward position for us today.
Gators softball stay undefeated as they beat Middle Tennessee State 7-0. Florida will travel to play California Berkeley on Thursday.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
When the late, great Charlie Daniels would need a place for jewelry he could trust, he turned to International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange.
Hi, I'm Charlie Daniels, and I live in Tennessee, but when I get ready to do something serious about jewelry or a gift for my wife or somebody, I always get in touch with the folks at International Gold and Diamond Exchange here in Gainesville. There's a lot of reasons for that. One reason is they sell nothing but the best.
Find out what Charlie was talking about for yourself at International Gold, Diamond, and Watch Exchange at 3440 West University Avenue and online at igdwex.com.
Every great team is built on a solid game plan, sharp execution, and total trust in the crew beside you. At Quality Plumbing, we bring that same championship mindset to every job we do. For over 40 years, we've been the starting lineup for homes and businesses across North Central Florida, delivering reliable service, expert craftsmanship, and big wins for our customers. Call us today or visit qualityplumbing.com. We're your first string team. License number CFC 043073.
It's no fun being injured. The last thing you want to deal with is long wait times or high costs. Well, guess what? You don't have to thanks to Titan MRI and Imaging. The experience at Titan MRI and Imaging is much more personal than a sterile atmosphere of a hospital. Joe and his team are personally involved and will guide you through the entire process at any of their 3 convenient locations. And they accept insurance. So if you need a scan, save time and money and call Titan MRI and Imaging. Learn more at titanmri.com.
It's a new year, kind of a new season, and Coach Steve Spurrier knows the importance of teamwork.
Any head coach that is successful, he's got to have a good staff. So team is very important, just like it is at Campus USA, and I'm proud to be part of that group.
Listen to the head ball coach and make the right play. Start your new year in a better financial place. Campus USA Credit Union. Check out campuscu.com. campuscu.com.
March Madness is coming to WRUF.
Meldon Law, with 55 years of experience, the only accident and injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators. Meldon Law won't back down.
Let's go to our Campus USA phone line. Bernard, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Mark? You missed the basketball. Are you waiting to see the stories that are going to come out of Kansas once Darren Peterson moves on to the NBA after 1 year at the University of Kansas?
I'm not sure I understood the question. I what?
Don't you think there's going to be a lot of talk about Darren Peterson?
Oh, yes. 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 It'll be interesting to find out that situation and how it's played out.
Another thing I watched, Mom, is John Lucas the coach of the year in the Atlantic Coast Conference?
Maybe.
Seems like he don't. Okay.
Maybe. I think that Jai Lucas, I think he'll be coach of the year in the ACC. It's going to be just like the SEC because it will either be him like the Bucky McMillan of the SEC or it will be John Shire who will be like the Todd Golden of the SEC.
Good
analogy. You know what? I think, Mark, if the Gators going to close out and end up going 16-2, I think it may be difficult to deny the Todd Golden's Coach of the Year. I think they look at what was expected and how the team does. And lastly, I think Luke Locks has kind of turned FSU around a little bit. What are your thoughts on that?
They're they play such a unique style. I think they just got to 500 in the league, I believe. I think they're 7-7 now. I could be off by a game there. But they've played better, and they won on the road at Clemson. That's a big win. It's an interesting thing, Bernard, that you bring up, because the Coach of the Year candidate usually goes to a guy who overachieved, and I hate using that word, maybe exceeded expectations, like Bucky McMillan, like Jay Lucas. But, man, when you're expected to be good and you are good and you've overcome some things like Todd Golden has, I think he's in the mix. I think it's between those two.
All right. Okay, man. You take care and have a great day, okay?
All right. Thanks, man.
Bernard, thank you. Gators' next opponent brought to you by Miapa Latin Cafe. When the opposing team misses 2 consecutive free throws in the second half, everybody in the dome wins a free empanada. The great Miapa miss. Texas and Arkansas.
Yeah, what a week this week. Texas, I talked about, is really good. They're 6th offensively in KenPom, but they're 119th defensively. But they've got guys that can make – they've got some bucket getters, whether you're talking about Dalen Swain, the transfer, Tremont Mark returns, Pope returns, and then Vocatitis, the big guy inside. Offensively, they're really good. They will challenge Florida one-on-one. Arkansas, their freshman backcourt, Darius Acuff Jr., in my view, the best player in the league. Malik Thomas is a three-point shooter with great positional size at 6'6". Billy Richmond, if you haven't seen Arkansas play, Billy Richmond may be the best motor guy in college basketball. He started to shoot the ball a little bit better. That's been the knock on him, is they couldn't score. But I think he had 19 the other day. He's in the starting lineup because Knox is still injured. I don't know if he'll be back by then. They're getting more mileage out of Malik Ewan, the big guy transfer from Florida State. So these are 2 quad one opportunities, 2 great games in the SEC for Florida this week.
I'm going to end with this, Mark. I got an email from Mark, who's a regular emailer here. He said his wife surprised him with floor seats for their Grizzlies at the Heat Saturday night. And highlight of the night was getting a pick with Clayton.
Okay. Who got traded.
Yep. So there's the picture.
Nice.
He said, but what was tough was how frustrated he appeared on the court. Fouled out with just 9 points in 26 minutes, 4 of 11, 1 of 6 from 3. Looked fatigued, getting up and down the floor most of his minutes. Hope he makes it. Grizzlies appear to be tanking. Observing such a lifeless bench during the game, considering we just had a year ago, is kind of sad. The NBA is a tough business.
All those things are true. The NBA has a major tanking problem.
Yes,
they don't know how to fix it. I'm not sure I know how to fix it. But that is a big-time problem. Here's the thing that I would say to Mark. Yep. Is that right? Mm-hmm. 9 points in an NBA game. Do you know how good you have to be to score 9 points in an NBA game? So when you say he's not, he looks tired, or first of all NBA players by the time March comes around have no idea what town they're in. Zero. And I don't know what town I'm in half the time, but I do a third of the games that NBA guys, they have no idea. I think they play I've said this for years. NBA guys have to play their way into games. They are never ready at the opening tip. How could you be? You might be in Chicago last night and you're playing Milwaukee in the next night and back-to-back. So college doesn't have that problem. So you're not going to see the same energy in an NBA game regular season versus a college game.
All right. Byron, I got a minute and a half. Go.
Steve, no, you and Coach Wise don't take this seriously, but Steve, you were mentioning baseball, and even yesterday, Coach Sully said the pitcher were a little tired. maybe both sports should just shorten the season just a little bit if the money ain't too bad, because I don't think it'll hurt. But, I mean, seriously, why play that many games in the NBA? College don't go that long in baseball, Steve, but I know that don't make sense. Thank you, guys, and I'm enjoying the show. Go Gators.
All right, Byron, thank you.
There's about 32 reasons why the NBA, and I may be off here, but why the NBA will never play a shorter season. That's called the owners.
Right. And it's called dollars.
It's called dollars and cents.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they make their books meet. I really don't.
Yeah.
But,
and we could do a whole show
on
tanking and how to fix it. There's all these kinds of things that are out there, but they have a big problem. Yeah,
they really do. And Billy Donovan and the Bulls for the first time are right in the middle of it because they traded all their assets.
Yep.
They're just shooting for the lottery is all they're doing right now.
Yeah.
And in this draft, maybe I would tank too, because I think this draft is special.
Yeah.
I mean, really special.
You got a chance.
Not at the not only at the top, but the 10th pick is going to be a great pick. The 20th pick in this draft, you're going to get a player who can play right away in the NBA.
That's our hoop. There it is for today. We thank you for consuming it, listening to it, seeing it, however you do it. Always appreciate you when you do it. Sports Scene's next. For Mark Wise, I'm Steve Russell. Sports Scene next on WRUF.
Gator fans, this one's for you. Introducing Castaway Sauce Company, the hot sauce made by Gators for Gators. Their signature ball kicker hot sauce is inspired by Steve Spurrier's famous kick that beat Auburn in '66. If you love hot sauce with real flavor, not just heat and vinegar, Castaway delivers. Available at select public supermarkets. Castaway Sauce Company.